South African than you, Brian, for the Bafana encounter with Hero Spice from Freddie Hirsch. Welcome back. We're building up to this encounter. It is South Africa's Bafana that takes on the Reds of Canada. This is the first time, in fact, since 2002 that we have two debutants in the knockout stage coming up against each other. Then it was Turkey up against co-host Japan, the host, in fact, Japan, and it was Turkey that won. So hopefully it's a good sign for South Africa with two debutants coming up against each other. Let's speak about that, because either way it happens tonight, history will be made.
Yeah. I think for South Africa, this is a good opportunity for them. They have played Canada once, 2007, back in 2007, and they actually won.
In a friendly.
Yes, in a friendly. So for me, this is for them to stay composed, especially in the first few minutes of the game, to just maybe withstand the pressure and see if the analysis that they had done on Canada is actually what they have planned for. But also, for me, what's going to be very crucial, we spoke about Mofokeng, the ability for him to be able to create those spaces, the passes that are defense splitting. If we start panicking and then we start playing long balls, then I think we are going to lose ourselves. But I think in the first few minutes, as composed as they are, then it's important for them to try and figure out why or how is Canada coming at them and be able to just find ground and their momentum to be able to get the rhythm right and play with confidence. I mean, we look at on the screen now, we have Maseko, who is the goal scorer from the previous match. We spoke about his ability to cut from the left, from the right side, cutting into the field and then taking those shots. This is also going to be very crucial. But again, for me, it's let them be composed, let them breathe the game and look at the best strategy to be able to apply and just play our game. I think we can definitely make this as South Africa.
Coach, perhaps then we look at South Africa's ability to score goals in the history of the World Cup. You've seen South Africa score in 9 of the 11 games at the World Cup. With all those goals, 11 in total coming from different goal scorers. So that speaks to, we don't want to just look at one player to find the back of the net. We want it to be able to come from any player on any part of the field.
South Africans are always very dangerous offensively because they are blessed with speed, technique, to dribble. The Nomvetes are in that picture. The Mukwenas are in that picture. We've scored a lot of goals from many players. Even Tebo Mukwena, the old one who was playing for Cosmos before, also had a goal. And it was a cracker like this one. I think it's in the making of the Mukwenas that they crack from outside the box. Because it was also a cracker. So it's going to be very interesting.
Doc, starting 11 for South Africa. Comparing it to the team that came up against South Korea, we see a single change there. Atala and Dembata making way for the return of Tebogo Mokoena. When you look at the starting 11 holistically, based on the discussion we've had here tonight, and now we're expecting Coach Hugo Broos to apply himself in this game, what are your thoughts of this 11?
At the end of the day, he has made up his mind, and this is the starting 11, but my 11, it had a Mbata instead of Stole. Got my own reasons, but the worry that I have, Coach just said, and this is the high-pressing team, and we like to build from the back. And I've seen, as Sitole made a mistake in Mexico, and I don't even want to dissect it to who's right, who's wrong, but we need to be very, very careful when we start building up from the back, because these guys, they always target keeper, Ronwin. Because Ronwin, he's the initiator of the build-up attack from the back, and also he can be able to find Umakhupa. So now we need to be having a composure instead of looking to play probably wide, but a Mukwena, we can probably use him instead of a Sitole, because Njengamanje, this is a different outfit that we're playing against. It's not going to be like South Korea. It's not going to be like Czech. This is a Canada that has got players like Coach Ashoguti. That plays my teams in Amani. But we met players that are playing, teams that have players like my teams are Makul. Let's not make mistakes that will be costly for us, because it disrupts a plan, a technical team. And when we have a player like Stole, let's know his ability. If we build from the back, even if Nomangabai won, are we able to give it to him? Because a Sundowns player, he knows telepath ukuthi if uRonwen anginika kusho ukuthi makanginika kanje uthi ngidlale first time lapha.
And that's Mokoena. Let me bring in coach, because I saw your prediction in terms of the starting 11.
Yeah.
You had a Mokoena there alongside Mbata.
Yeah.
Coach, you had a different one. You said either or. Tell me why you had that either or.
Because the physical and technical attributes of Mbata and Sithole are more or less the same. I just wanted Tebogo to come back because I believe we need that intensity at Tebogo, both defensively and offensively. But at the same time, I think we must not be too harsh on Sithole making that mistake in the previous match, because that mistake had too many elements.
Yeah.
And it was as a result of him only having scanned on one side and not seeing the other side. But the structure was not proper, because at least they should have had two midfielders closer, so that if Mexico had brought two midfielders to deal with them, they would have opened the space behind. But in that match, we did not have the chance.
No, we did not
have anything beyond that.
But in Korea, we said that as Pepelo performed well, he did well in that Rowan had a stellar performance. The redemption, many would say, coming up against South Korea. We'll continue to speak on what the starting 11s are looking like, but let's hear now from the man who at 74 years and 79 days is the oldest coach to coach a side in the knockout stage of the FIFA World Cup.
Coach Hugo, it's certainly turning out to be a brilliant World Cup campaign for Bafana. How do you make it even better?
Yes, as you said, it's a brilliant campaign of World Cup of Bafana, certainly because we have qualified for the second round, but that doesn't mean that we are happy now and the rest, okay, it doesn't interest us anymore. We will tomorrow, we will win that game, and we will go further also. And then, if I'm right, I think it will be Holland or Morocco again. I think that Morocco is now already thinking, oh no, not again Bafana. So yes, we will try tomorrow to go around further, that is for sure.
What do you make of this Canadian team? Jesse March speaks highly of you as well.
Well, it's a very enthusiastic team, very physical. It's a difficult team also. They are not a wow team like Argentina or Brazil or Spain or something else, but yeah, it's a very tough team, very complete. Some good players, so for us it will be certainly necessary to be on our highest level tomorrow again.
How has your recovery plan been? You emphasized on the importance of that, moving from one city to another.
Yeah, you know, it's not easy. It's not only the traveling, but also the time zones. One day you are 2 hours behind, and another day you are.
All right, of course, their coach Hugo Broos just speaking on what the expectations are here tonight. And
Coach Hugo,
the FIFA World Cup 2026 is certainly here. The world's biggest soccer tournament lands on your doorstep at your nearest Coca-Cola fan park. You don't want to miss out on the 411, and tickets are available at Coca-Cola ZA socials. Feel it all with Coca-Cola. Coach Hugo Broos is speaking there in that moment and just saying he has the confidence in the team. He believes that the team can win against Canada here tonight. Of course, one of the co-host nations. Let's speak about coming up against a co-host nation and how important that confidence that the coach has in the team today.
This team has conquered. This team has beaten teams in AFCON, Ivory Coast. People know what we did. We've done well in Morocco as well. We're unfortunate in the quarterfinals. And I think we can always believe in this team. As long as we play the match and we don't play the occasion, because we know the hosts will always have more supporters. And we must just focus on the game, keep to our tactics, respect what the coaches have put for us, and give a lot of intensity in the game. And when we do that and we play our football, we can beat any team in the world. We are a team that has dominated Brazil in the Confederations Cup in South Africa. We've dominated Spain in South Africa. What would stop us from beating Canada? But we must work very hard and not think it's going to be given to us. We are not entitled.
We've also beaten Uruguay, coach, I think, in the World Cup 2010. And for me, I think given what we have seen transpire in the past 2 matches, especially the transformation. So psychologically, I feel the players are hyped up already. They also have the confidence, and there's nothing more better than a coach having confidence in his players. It transfers so easily and it builds you up, because whichever player that's going to start today, that means already they have that responsibility. They have the confidence to say, this is a big game. Coach has put me first, so I also need to bring in my A game. But also not taking for granted that on the bench, you also have depth. You have people that could easily come in and also bring in a switch in the change, which is what we saw in the Korean game with Moremi coming in, you know, the connections, the combinations. So I think for me, it's a positive start where the technical team already believes, but also the transferring to the players and for them to also come up and show what they are made up of, because I think it's very possible. South Africa is a skillful nation. They have good decision makers, you know, within the squad. They also have potential to be able to convert, which is just the one element which I believe the coach should have focused on to make sure that whatever chances that are created can be converted.
They'll look to convert not just against themselves, but against the 11 of...